I'll take it.
You've already touched on some of your experience and background that you feel would be a contributing factor if you were elected. What other parts of your background and experience, professional background, do you feel will serve as an asset to the mayor's office?
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. My background is extensive. I mean, I have gone through the Dallas Citizens Police Academy. I have done the FBI Citizens Police Academy, Leadership Dallas. I've served on a Chamber of Commerce board. I have traveled on trade mission with the former mayor of Dallas. Real estate. I understand real estate from many perspectives and be international. And, I have active relationship in more countries than anybody running currently. I can pick up my phone now and I can be speaking to a president, a prime minister, or secretary of commerce, or minister of commerce in various countries. These are the things that are going to, bode well for this office, because we are now in a global economy, and that global economy is important. The world is bigger than our zip code. So how do we take advantage of our zip code and tie into the world? You need relationships, and that I have. I'm far better and more than anybody currently running. And I mean, I just came back from the Middle East, and the group is coming in this next 2 weeks. They're going to invest $1 billion. I'm the one persuading them. I'm the one laying the entire process, because Dallas to the world is not known like New York, Atlanta, Washington, D.C. So I'm out here marketing Dallas, telling them we are central located. Our real estate is very inexpensive compared to other regions. We have trained workforce. We have the largest inland population in U.S., when you consider the region. So this is something, and then we are able to go anywhere transportation-wise, air, roads, and rail. We don't have water, but we have an inland port. So there are a lot of things that we have in Dallas, but you need somebody who understands all these things and tie it and sell it to the world. And also encourage the domestic companies to look at us. So, I know I have a relationship with Austin, so I don't need any introduction to the governor. I have a relationship to Washington, D.C., so again, we got to be out there reaching out to everything that will help Dallas.
Did you say $1 billion?
Yes.
Can you expand on that, please? Who's investing $1 billion?
I can't at this time, but if you want, when the delegation comes in 2 weeks, you are welcome to come. But they're going to be relocating a plant here. They're going to be looking at food processing plant. They're going to be looking at some high-tech investment. And the aggregate of that is about $1 billion. Because they recognize, again, I'm an appointed investment representative for this country. So every year I go over there and I speak to them about the benefits of being in Dallas. And I don't think anybody has sold Dallas to them than I have. More.
Dallas is expected to have about a $90 million shortfall budget this next budget year. And usually in the budget cuts we've seen, the first things that they look at cutting the community centers, recreation centers, libraries, things of that nature, and things. If you were mayor, how would you balance the budget to make but also make sure that hardcore community outlets will still remain?
Mr. Gordon, you said 90 million? That's what you heard. But let's even take that as an actual number. Okay. So what is the city entire budget? It's about $2.something billion. Okay. So what is the percentage of 90 million to 2.5?
That's 1%.
There's something less than 5%. If you do a regressional analysis, if you go to each budget item and address it by that number, you will cure that.
But in fact, Mr. Ackerman, isn't it the case that there's really, outside of public safety, debt service, set costs, there's really only about $400 million out of that $2.5 billion that the city of Dallas has to maneuver with. So that creates a much larger percentage of cuts, unless you want to start talking about cutting police, fire. You can't cut your payments on your debt. So how do you address it in that context?
Again, what the city is concerned about is $90 million. They don't have. If they have $90 million in the budget, that means they have balanced their budget. So we're not cutting anything. We are saying, how do we adjust? Remember, domestically, our economy has grown because we have been the only option in the world. Now we're not the only option. i.e., the dollar for its time was 40% of the world assets were stored in the dollar. Now it's gone down to less than 30%. So the way we have been budgeting, putting a lot of weight on future income is what is creating this tension. So we got to go back and look at the way we have been budgeting. Maybe we need to consolidate some departments. Maybe we need to look at the ways we've been spending money. If you go to City Hall, you will see a lot of empty desks and computers sitting there. Nobody is using those. So what is the optimal number of desks and computer or people we need to have? Those are the questions. So we have to really look at this. I mean, we are jumping at the symptoms, we're not looking at the causes. And that is what I'm going to bring into this leadership. I understand financing. You look at through your books, look at our family structure. If we are short of money, do we lay off our spouses, our kids? We make an adjustment, and that's what I think we need to do. We need to start to look at how do we adjust some of the ways we've been spending money or collecting money, so that we don't get into a situation where our deficit or shortfall is really creating pressure.
Thanks a lot.
I had a question. Getting in the race late, you got some heavyweights in this race. I mean, other people that have big support. You're getting in real late. What do you think your chances are of winning this race? I mean, realistically.
Look. When Barack Obama, now president, said he was going to run, he was the only person standing at the steps of Springfield, Illinois, Capitol. When Jimmy Carter ran for president, he was the only one in his door. I mean, I can give you history of people who have said they're going to run, and everybody sort of, look, 4 or 5 people running, equally distribute the chances. In lottery, what do you know who's going to win? Of the other people, would you tell me exactly who's going to win? You can't. And this is a democracy. I mean, people are out there listening. I am not persuaded by who is heavy duty, who is small duty. When I came to America, I was told nobody would ever hire me for a job. In less than 4 years I was in this country, I was the head of real estate appraisal for the Federal Deposit. Less than 4 years. I've been here 25 years. I've been self-employed for 21 of those. And everybody will say, oh, no, it can't. So I believe in the American people. I think the American people, if they see somebody who has a passion for what he or she wants to do, they will listen. I mean, the big names, remember, or do you remember Congressman Michael Burgess? When he ran in Louisville, who was he running against? The son of Dick Armey. Everybody endorsed Dick Armey, son. And Michael Burgess, who never held any public office, won. So I am not discouraged. I am just saying this is like horses in a derby. Let's just get into the cages. You run in a pack, and then the winner breaks up and runs to the finish line. I'm going to be that horse. Let's have the debate. Let's present our issues. I am not mad at anybody. I wasn't born here. There's going to be sentiments towards me, but I have a passion that has nothing to do with where you are born. And that's what I am hoping people in Dallas are going to respond to.